A playing card is freely selected from the deck and signed by the participant. The magician removes the two red aces from the deck. He then loses the signed playing card into the deck of playing cards before shuffling them. The playing cards are placed aside and the two red aces are taken. The red aces are then waved above the deck of cards, where a single playing card is seen to magically appear between them. This playing card is revealed to be none other than the signed selection. I am Daniel Madison, and in this video, I'm gonna teach you everything that I know about the Mad Sandwich Load. Charlie, I'm sorry, it's been over a month since my last video and I can't apologize enough. I'm working so hard behind the scenes so that my life can be on YouTube, so that everything that I do can be on YouTube. At least 2 videos a week, Charlie, that's what I'm working for. The last few videos were all about sandwich effects, and there's something that I don't want to miss, and it's the Mad Sandwich Load. You know it very well, Charlie, you already know it. It's the idea of getting a playing card between two red aces, for example, without anybody knowing, so you can set yourself up cleanly, safely, in the best possible way for a sandwich effect. So without further ado, let's get to it. I'm Daddy Madison, you're a good boy, and this is the Mad Sandwich Load. I am Daniel Madison, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Charlie Madison and I really appreciate you choosing to spend some time with us today. It's been almost a month since my last video and I can only apologize. Behind the scenes, I'm working very hard to find my way onto YouTube at least twice a week, so you'll see a lot more of me from now on. Now, my last 4 videos over the past month have gone to the Alliance only over at Madison.ist, but the videos before that were all focused on sandwich effects. I want to move on from sandwich effects. I don't want to be limited to just giving you sandwich effects, but there's one very important thing that I want to give at this very moment to cap off that subject, and that's the idea of the Mad Sandwich Load. Now, we all have our favorite personal sandwich effects. I've provided a few. Check back on my previous videos, you'll see quite a few sandwich effects. The most important part of the sandwich effect, I think, is not the revelation itself, but the sleight of hand technique that you use to load the selection inside, or in between, should I say, those red aces. In the Mad Sandwich Load, this very video, I'm going to teach you a way to get the signed selection in between the two sandwich playing cards in the fairest possible way that can't possibly be backtracked. It's a little bit dangerous, it's a little bit risky, but with my help, with my guidance, I'm gonna make this move so easy to master. Without further ado, get yourself a deck of playing cards. I'm Daddy Madison. This is the Mad Sandwich Load. As ever, we're going to be using the two red aces as our sandwich cards. Susan the Sausage has helped us once more by signing the 4 of clubs to help us with this trick. I've got a GoPro filming up here because there's a lot that you need to see from my point of view, from your point of view as a performer, so that you can see the most crucial moment, which is the loading moment itself. Now, the loading moment in a sandwich effect is the secret, the hidden, the deceptive moment when we get the signed card loaded between 2 red aces before our audience has any idea that we've done it, has any idea what's going on. So for me, when it comes to the sandwich plot, or any plot in Magic, to be honest, I mean, we can use the sandwich plot as an example, but the most important moment is unknown to the audience. Like they don't see the important thing that we see, that we should be thinking about. And this is what, as a student of Magic, this is what you should be focusing on when it comes to the development, the practice and the creation of your magic tricks. And it's all about the way that it flows, the way that it works for the audience, so that when they go away, they're going to try to think, how did he do that? It is not our intention, and it should never be our ambition, to fool our audience. We're not here to fool them. We're here to offer, to provide, to deliver a moment of magic, a little mini miracle. Now, it is human nature, it is innate. Our audience will try to figure it out. A lot of people just want the experience. They just want to be baffled and fall in love with magic and experience that magic. A lot of people, their insecurities come out when we show them magic, and they think that we're trying to fool them and that we're trying to belittle them. And in them not knowing how it works, their insecurities start to boil and they think it makes them feel inferior. Now, we should never try to do that to our audience. And if we sense that they are like that and maybe they're experiencing that, then it's our duty, it's our responsibility to make clear that we're entertainers, we're performers. We are performing something, a moment of magic. Now, I talk about this because it's been on my mind a lot, and I want to get this out I want this message to carry across on all the things I teach, and this is a good moment for that. So even though we're not trying to fool them, they are going to go away and they're going to try and figure it out. It's like a puzzle. We're presenting to them a puzzle with missing pieces. Now they're going to try and figure that out, whether they do it in front of you or whether they go home and do it. At some point they're going to figure it out, or they're going to try to figure it out. It is our job, knowing that, to make sure that they can't backtrack. This isn't down to how good the trick is or how good we are at performing the trick. It is how good we are at the creation of the trick and certain moments within the trick that are designed specifically to put a block in somebody's way. If you're not thinking of these things when you're performing and when you're creating, then you're setting yourself up for potential disasters and potential failures. This trick, or this loading technique, is a good example of that, the whole concept of it. And if you can apply this way of thinking to all of your magic and all of your deceptions and trickery, then you're on a good path. So if anything, for me, teaching this, and I've wanted to teach this message, get this message into a video for a long time, and it's perfectly arrived with the final sandwich offering. And when I say final, maybe it's not my final sandwich offering, but I want to kind of round up the sandwich ideas. Without further ado, I'm talking a lot, it's important though. We are going to present the trick to begin with. The playing card is selected and signed. This is the first thing that happened. The card is taken out. Perhaps you are already in the midst of tricks. You've already done a few sandwich effects or a few other effects and you're leading up to this. Either way, we have a signed playing card. Signed playing card proves there's only one of those playing cards. There's something beautiful about us still being able to do beautiful magic with a playing card that's been interrupted or interfered with in a way that a signed playing card has. It proves that we've only got one of those playing cards, whether we say that ever or not. So the card is selected to begin with. We then take our pairs. Whether you're going to do that in a fancy way or not, we won't go over that in this video. We're just going to have two red aces. We're going to use these as sandwich playing cards. Now, this is where it begins. This is where that story begins, that we can take them around their houses so that they steer clear of the method, or at least being able to figure it out. So it's important that you pay attention to everything I'm about to say. So we take the red aces out, we leave them in view. I like to give them to Susan. I like to say, hold on to these. If you have a choice to say, here participant, hold on to these, or put them on the table, always give them. When you give them to your participant, do not ever say, just check, there's only two cards there, isn't there? There's only two. Check, double check, triple check. Look, try and peel them. You don't need to do that. You don't need to prove that there's only two playing cards there. A lot of magicians do this and I've never understood it. Just give them the cards. The fact that they can handle the cards means that you don't have to say there's nothing between them. And also in saying that, you're kind of setting them up and you're making them pay more attention to the aces. Whereas if I just take them out and say, hold these, then we're good. Again, this is important. No. At this moment, when I take the signed playing card back, we're going to do something called, we're going to do two moves that I've taught already on my channel. So I'll leave links in this video description. The first move is a Susan shift, or the squeeze shift, or the Di Vernon straddle shift. I don't know. So people have thought of this. I know it as the Susan shift or the squeeze shift. So I will go over it very quickly. The card goes inside in the middle. We can show it in the middle. and then when I push it inside, I actually push it down the side, a bit like a diagonal palm shift. Don't confuse the Susan shift or squeeze shift as a diagonal palm shift. It's not. So it goes down the side slightly. We squeeze that card under the deck, out of the back of the deck, sorry, and then it goes underneath the deck. That's move number one. So we've shifted their playing card, we've controlled it to the bottom of the deck. Move number two is the simple Tenkai steal. I'll leave a link in this video to that video, and it's called that for a very obvious reason. This move is simple. Holding the deck as so, like this, holding it from above. When it's in freehand and it looks like nothing's happening, yeah, I managed to completely steal that card in a Tenkai palm. Now I know the camera above saw that perfectly, which is ideal. So the card is here. It kind of gets manipulated to the side a little bit and then backwards, and you'll notice in that position it's in automatically into a Tenkai palm. I do need to clear the corner so that it can go over the top, but at this moment we're going to take the deck away, so it doesn't really make a difference. Now I'm not going to teach this move here, but there is a move that I will teach on the channel soon where the playing card goes in the middle and then we can shift it straight into a Tenkai palm like this. A bit like the Susan shift, a bit modified, a little bit more difficult, a little bit more tricky. We teach that another time. The situation that you need to be in from the playing card being signed is it gets lost in the deck, and then by the time you finished, it is in Tenkai palm, the right hand face down. So once you've got the Tenkai palm loaded, like so, we're gonna take the free hand, we're gonna take the deck, and we're gonna give it to Susan, right? Or we can put it on the table. Susan's not here, she's in a box behind the screen. We're gonna give it to Susan and we're gonna say, take the deck, give it a shuffle. Now, this is optional. You can say shuffle it, or you can say just hold on to it. It's nice if you let them shuffle. However, what you're gonna do next, it might feel like the asking Susan to shuffle is an intentional distraction, and I don't want that. I don't want her to think that. Also, she's just seeing me shuffle. I've just put this card in the deck, I do the shuffles, and also that's optional as well. I didn't mention that. I mean, by all means, put the card in the deck, shift it to the bottom, so it's now on the bottom of the deck. Now do a few shuffles, keeping that card at the bottom, and now do the Tenkai steal. Now if you do that, she's seen you shuffle, so you don't have to ask her to shuffle. You don't. If you go straight for the move to the shift into a Tenkai straight from the deck and you don't shuffle, when you give it to Susan, by all means tell her to shuffle the playing cards. Again, you don't have to though. There's something nice about the card, them thinking that the card is in the middle, and if you shuffle it, you might have moved it to the top or the bottom, or they might have done. Either way, we're going to give this to Susan and we're going to instruct her to hold it in her hand like this. Susan, look, hold the deck in your hand like this. Hold your hand out like this. So it allows us to give these actions where we are holding the palm card here and the deck here. And we now have a free hand, and we say, hold your hand out like this. We can now use the dirty hand. By dirty, I mean that we're holding out, we're palming a playing card. Using the dirty hand, we can now put the deck into her hand. She's not going to see this. It's going to give that illusion that both our hands are now empty, because she's seen this hand empty because I've said, hold your hand like this. I'm showing my hand empty. She's still holding the aces, by the way. Hold your hand like this, your other hand. I put the deck on top and I now stand here. Now, I've two empty hands as far as she's concerned. Nobody can see this. She can't see this. At this point, I now take the red aces back. I gave the red aces to Susan face up. I expect her, if she has good manners, to give them back to me face up if she's played along, because she's not going to stand there when I give her the red ace, and she's not going to start folding them and turning them over. She's literally, hate the word literally, she's actually just going to stand there and hold them like this. So now she's got the deck face down in her hand. She's giving me the red playing cards back, the two red aces. I'm in this situation. I've got a Tenkai palm of her playing card here. I've got two red aces in this hand face up. This is the situation that we need. I now need to get this card. We'll switch to the above view. I need to get her playing card in between these two playing cards. Now if you look at my hands, the situation of my hands, the actual method that we're going to use is this. We're going to just put it inside like this and then square up, right? We're gonna do that right in front of Susan, but we can't just do it because you can see what's happening. You can see that I'm doing something. If I just stand here and take the aces and then go, and then I'll wave, you can see something's happened. It's weird. It's very strange. So I'm going to stand here like this. Now I need to prepare myself for the load, and it needs to take place and be executed within what appears to be natural, normal body language and behavior from me. So for me to do that, I wouldn't just stand here and then do this and then have it loaded. I wouldn't do that. I've seen magicians do that over and over and over. I need a motivation. I need a reason for this hand to be moving forward away from these, and then these hands coming together. It's very simple. This is the point hand, right? So the Tenkai palm allows me to point by finger. I'm going to point to the deck. I'm going to use this hand and point to the deck. In her hand, she's like this, and I'm going to say, look, hold your fingers out straight. Hold the deck a little bit lower down. What I'm saying in that sentence, I'm not actually saying, I don't care about that instruction. All this does, it allows me to have my hand forward, the dirty hand forward like this. So it puts me in position to load. So at this moment when I'm pointing to the deck, I need to make something up because there's nothing to be said at this moment. There's nothing to be said. So I'll be like, just move it down a little bit, hold your fingers out a little bit more. Perfect. Now in this position, look where my hands are. The aces are separated. I need to make the palmed Susan sausage 4 of clubs. I need to make the back of it press up against the back of the ace of diamonds, the top ace. So that's going to happen like this. So I point here, I move back slowly, and I allow it to push that ace up, not noticeably, so that it's seen to move. But as soon as I feel them connect, I know I'm good to go. So as soon as it gets here, my hands are going to come together. That playing card is forced in between the red aces, and I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to spin them around like this into this hand, and it looks like this hand has simply gone from here to here, and I'm moving the aces forward because they're about to be used. So it's all motivated. There's all a reason for everything. It's all acknowledged in it's all acknowledged in our natural behavior, natural body language. So once again, red aces here. Look, move your hand, move it down a little bit. Perfect. So with the aces here, it's kind of I'm moving forward and backwards like this. Not as a dance. Although it's nice to describe it as a dance, the way that we learn and the way that we teach magic. But I'm going to take the aces here, and the body language goes like this. So I'm here, point to this. By the way, you don't want to take these red aces all the way over here. They're just coming back a little bit. And then the separation also, we don't want to have a grip on them like a death grip. We want it to be fairly relaxed. My thumb on top allows them to just be displayed openly. At this point as well, you might want to just move them around a little bit like this to kind of, I wouldn't see it as over-proving there's nothing between them, but you can certainly move them to show people that there's nothing there other than red aces. So from here, I point to this, they come back, the sign card goes up against the back of the ace of diamonds. They come together, and I place them in my hand like this, and this hand moves back. So it looks exactly like what it is. The aces go here, I point here, and then I come back, and this hand back here. Now you don't have to do this spinny thing. I found that I do that naturally. It started happening naturally because if I do this and then come back here and then not do the spinny thing, there's all this kind of touching of the aces that doesn't really make sense. And the spinny thing as well, it shouldn't be done as a flourish. It's just done as one of those non-things. It didn't really mean anything. It was just me handling the cards freely, maybe even to overprove or to prove there was nothing between them. So here, move back slowly, put them in my hand, prepare. I stand back at this point now that I've loaded. I stare at the deck, preparing mentally for what I'm about to do. I now come over the top of the aces and peel the bottom ace out, thus hiding still the 4 of clubs behind that second ace. The right hand comes in like this. Finger 1 connects with the face of the 4 of clubs. Finger 2 with the back of the ace of hearts. This allows me a fair spread when I come to spread them out. When I wave them over the top of the deck, I'm now just going to do this, right? And that reveals the card between them. It looks like it's just appeared. Now, this is all down to your performance, what you choose to do. You might have your own way of doing this, your own unique way of doing this, and by all means do it however you want. But please don't do this. Because I've seen it too many times and it hurts my brain. It really does. Don't do it. Why are you doing that? The ideal movement at this point, we want it to look magical. That's the point, right? We want it to look beautiful, like it just appeared. How can we do that? One swift movement, minimal movement. If we just stand there and do this, then that's pathetic. We're showing what we've done. We're showing that we some point we loaded it between the ears. If we wave once, twice, and then it appears, it's quite fast enough to blur the eye so that they can't see what happened. But it also gives us enough time to go like this here, and then this here. So I know there's quite a few methods out there, but I don't like it when it starts looking unnatural. But this allows me to separate the two red aces and have this card a little bit further forward. Now, ideally, you want this card to be lined up with the deck, so it's in line visually when you look. It looks like it's just gone up. And depending on how you choose to perform and how you do perform, you might want to even say it. You might want to even say when you're waving. I don't mind seeing this, to be honest, when people wave and they go, your card, watch your card jump from the deck, and I catch it between the aces. Your wording is important, but I'm not going to advise at this point because I want to focus on the technique, on the method itself. As long as you get to that point fairly, so it looks like it's in line with the deck and between the aces. At this point, I like to just give everything to Susan. Give her everything, let her discover it herself. Step back. You can move on. You can like go on to the style sandwich, which I taught a few videos back, I think, where you can continue, do the same thing again, go through the whole same thing again with a different kind of loading technique. But I like to stop at that point. What a great moment to stop. Now, before we finish, I know I'm talking a lot, and this is all important. Thank you for still being here. There's one important thing that I want to talk about. So I'm going to move the camera a little bit. I'm going to take a few moments to think about it myself. But the idea of the participant backtracking and being able to backtrack, and why everything that I've just done and taught you is vital and so important for blocking their memory when it comes to backtracking. So when we're constructing deceptions, if we can learn to create and practice tricks the way that I've explained this, so that it can't really be backtracked properly. If we look at the steps of this plot, of this loading technique itself, we can apply that same way of thinking to anything we create, anything that we practice, and anything that we can perform. Let's look at this from the beginning. So the assigned playing card's taken and lost in the deck, and the first thing that's done is the deck is handed out to be shuffled, or it is, even if it's not handed out to be shuffled, it's disconnected from us as the performer, as the deceptionist, right? So it's away from us. Because the deck's away from us and they believe that the playing card is lost inside, it feels like we've got very little control over the situation, and that's the key point. To have the participant, to have Susan Sausage believe that we have no control or little control, that's what goes such a long way, and that's what stops them or in their tracks, because we've thought so much about this so deeply. So I've removed myself, or I've lowered my level of control in their mind by simply letting go of the deck. Now they see the card go inside the deck. Now I can choose to shuffle at this point. It looks like I've just shuffled it inside. I steal the card in the Tenkai palm, I give them the deck, and they believe that my hands are empty. It is in the fact that they believe my hands are empty that the card is still in the deck. It has to be still in the deck. Why wouldn't it be still in the deck? So if we can convince them at certain moments, at certain points, that the playing card is still in the deck without it looking obvious, without saying, it's in there, promise, look, it's still in there, without trying to overconvince them, then we're just doing better and better for ourselves and for our performance. And one of the big ways of doing that is just by having empty hands, just by showing that our hands are empty the moment after the playing card's been lost in the deck. We give the red aces up, so they're empty, there's nothing between them, we give them up. Right up until the moment that we load it. There's only a few beats between the load and the trick being revealed that the card is hidden, that there's a dirty, dark, dangerous, deceptive moment happening. Right up until the load, these playing cards can be inspected and can be seen. Even in my hands, they can be seen to have nothing between them, because right until that moment, the dirty hand is the one that you least expect. It is the free hand. Most magicians at this point would have the card loaded already so that they're safe, so that they don't have to worry, and that is problematic. So with the red aces and with the card in a Tenkai palm, the fact that they have the deck and we're never going to touch the deck again, that is going to go in their mind, that will be in their memory. Oh, he put the card in the deck, the sign card was lost in the deck, I instantly took the deck from him. I was holding the red aces. They were in my hands. I had the deck in one hand, I had the red aces in my other hand, and his arms were empty. This is the memory. That is what will get them, because of those steps that we took. So when we take those red aces and we still handle them like this, and they're watching at this point, oh, there's nothing going on, he's just holding the red aces. Now, if there is a dirty hand in this, it's the free hand, but he's using that to touch the deck or to point to the deck, so it can't be dirty. Then when we load, we handle everything so freely, and there's a little spin around, and we have to be careful at this point that we don't keep hold of these for too long. And at this point, there's already been enough proving that there's nothing between them, so we don't have to do it again. We don't have to overprove again, we just have to reveal the playing card between them, because all the way up until that moment, everything was clean. Now when they backtrack, those are the things that they're going to remember. He didn't have the deck though. He lost the card inside and gave me the deck. His hands were empty. I had hold of those red aces right until the very end. All he did was take the red aces off of me and wave them over the deck. Oh, well then that must be the moment where he loaded the card between them. Nope, his hands were empty, and it happened within a few seconds. So if we can put a lot of our attention and time into that moment, into that way of thinking, into that construct, the way that it's going to be remembered by the participant as if they're trying to figure us out, then we can create the most beautiful deceptions of all. The sandwich plot, the sandwich principle, the sandwich trick is older than Jesus, I think. It's not new, but with a new way of thinking, and with thinking like this and trying to develop magic this way, we can make it modern, and we can make it present, and we can make it work ideally in our world and our time, in this very moment, for us as beautiful moments of magic. On that note, thanks for your time. That was the Mad Sandwich Load. Thanks for making it through that video. I know it was heavy, I know there was a lot of information, but as I always say, good magic, important magic deception sleight of hand requires you to think this way, to think this much in all different kinds of directions, to make sure that you cover everything so that your magic is impenetrable but also beautiful. There's a few video links in this video description that will take you to the Simple Tenkai Palm and also the Susan Shift, two videos that I mentioned in this very video. You'll also find links to my dope new Charlie Madison merch. Now, as always, I don't really feel comfortable about people tagging me when they use my deceptions online, because it leads your audience to me where they're gonna discover the method, but I do like the idea that we'll start using a hashtag. I'll figure that out. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. And to repeat myself, I'm sorry that I've been away for a while. I'm working hard. I'm working very hard behind the scenes to clear things up so that I can get back to YouTube full time at least twice a week. So I'll ask in return, make sure that you subscribe so that you get a notification bell going ding, 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 ding every time I drop a new tutorial. And on that note, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate you. I'm Daniel Madison. See you next time.